Hi students, welcome to a new lesson. The objective of today's lesson is to apply vocabulary about sports and adverbs of sequence. Okay, so let's start with the lesson. So I need that you please open your student books on page number 76. Vocabulary, this part please. Sports and sports verbs. So let's do activity number 1. It's really important that you see these pictures, that you watch these pictures and the pictures of the next page. These ones to do the activity, okay? Match the words in the list with the photos. Write 1 to 10 in the boxes. So here we have different sports, different activities, and here we have the pictures. So you have to match them, writing the number next to the letter. Okay, so stop the video, please, and do it. Did you finish? Great. So let's check then. Number 1, sailing. What do you think? Letter D, correct. Very good. Number 2, diving. What do you think? Letter H. Excellent. Number 3, golf. What do you think? Letter C. Excellent. Number 4, gymnastics. What do you think? Letter F. Excellent. Number 5, rock climbing. What do you think? Letter B. Perfect. Number 6, rugby. Letter A. Very good. Number 7, snowboarding. What do you think? Letter I. Very good. Number 8, skiing. What do you think? Letter E. Very good. Number 9, volleyball. What do you think? Letter J. And finally, windsurfing. Letter G. Excellent. Okay, so now I need that you stay on page number 77 because we're going to do activity number 2. Answer the questions. Okay, number 1. 2 of the sports in exercise 1 have players and a team. Which ones are they? Number 2. 7 of the sports in exercise 1 add ER or OR for the people who do them. Which ones are they? And finally, number 3. What do we call someone who does gymnastics? So stop the video, please, and answer these 3 questions in your notebooks. Did you finish? Let's check. Number 1, the answer is rugby and volleyball. These 2 sports have players and a team, rugby and volleyball. Number 2, the answer is rock climbing, which is rock climber. Sailing, the people who do this sport is a sailor. Snowboarder, volleyballer, windsurfer, rugby player, and diver. Okay? And number 3, the answer is gymnast. Okay? Good. So let's continue with activity number 3. We use different verbs for different kinds of sports. Read the rule and then complete the table with the sports in exercise 1. With these sports, okay? Look at the rule. Play, game, okay? So we're going to write under the verb play a game. For example, football. we're going to write under the verb go all the sports that finishes with ing. All the sports that finish, with ing. And after the verb, under the verb do, we're going to write activities. So please, I need that you stop the video now and complete the table. Did you finish? So let's check then. Remember, we play only games. With go, sports that finish with ing, and we do activities. So, under play, we have football, golf, rugby, and volleyball. Under go, we have running, sailing, diving, rock climbing, snowboarding, skiing, and windsurfing. And under do, we have athletics and gymnastics. Now, I need that you open your student books on page number 79 because we're going to see vocabulary again, but this time is related to adverbs of sequence. These adverbs, these words help us to connect a story, okay? So let's check them. At first, then, after, and finally. At first, al principio, then, luego, after, después, finally, finalmente. Okay, so let's do activity number 1. Match the parts of the sentences. At first, here we have all the adverbs of sequence, and you have to match them with these sentences. So let's start with number 1. At first, what do you think? Letter B, he was very happy. Then, number 2, then, letter C, he fell off. Number 3, after 2 seconds, he lost control of the bike. Number 4, finally, he put his arm up to celebrate. Okay? So now we're going to do activity number 2. You have to complete the story with the words in exercise 1 with these 4 words with the adverbs of sequence. So look at the pictures. Here we have a girl which is running a marathon maybe, and you have to read the story about each picture, and you have to complete the story with the correct adverb of sequence. For example, number 1, I was very nervous. What do you think? Okay, stop the video please and do the activity. Did you finish? Let's check. Number 1, at first I was very nervous. Number 2, then the started fire began. Let's continue with the story. After 10 seconds, I crossed the finish line and won. I was the Olympic champion. Then the photographers took photos of me. After an hour, they gave me the gold medal. Finally, I woke up. Okay, great. Just to check, in this lesson we saw 2 different kinds of vocabulary. The first one was related to sports, for example, rock climbing, diving, golf, gymnastics, and sports verbs. The sports verbs were 3, play, go, and do. And we're going to use play with games, for example, rugby. We're going to use go with all the sports that finish with ing, for example, diving. And we're going to use do with activities, for example, gymnastics. And then we saw vocabulary about adverbs of sequence. These were 4 different words. We have at first, we have then, after, and finally. And all these words help us to connect a story correctly. Okay, very good. And this is the homework that you have to do this week. You have to open your workbooks on page number 75 and you have to do activity number 2 and 4. Only 2 and 4, okay? Let's read number 2. Which sport is the odd one out in each list and why? Odd one, different, okay? So number 0, tennis, rugby, windsurfing, and basketball. The answer is windsurfing. This is different because the other sports all use balls. So you have to tell me which sport in the list is different and why. And in activity number 4, you have to write a mini story using the adverbs of sequence and your own ideas. And you have to think that you are in a tennis game, the tennis game. And you have to tell me at first, what happened at first? Then, what happened then? What happened after? And finally. So you have to write at least one sentence with each word. And remember that it has to be related to a tennis game. And that is the end of today's lesson. Remember to do your homework and remember to be prepared for your online lessons, okay? See you next lesson. Bye!